If you were to describe the early activities of the Alliance to restore the Republic, the words careful, deliberate, and subtle would probably come to mind. And this is exemplified in the activities of Luthen Rael, whose public image as a Coruscanti art dealer concealed an elaborate network of rebel cells and contacts. His work within the rebellion is meticulously planned, and if he appears more assertive than rebel leaders like Mon Mothma, it's because he's also willing to go to greater lengths to conceal his involvement. This is a man who fervently believes that any means, no matter how cruel or brutal, must be at least considered if it can protect the integrity of the rebellion. Luthen has blackmailed double agents within the Imperial Security Bureau in order to maintain his control over them. He's deliberately allowed rebel personnel to die so that mole wouldn't be exposed. He's cut off contact with sympathetic assets on the merest chance they might be compromised, and even ordered their murder to protect his own identity from being exposed. Everything he does treads this very dangerous line between aggressiveness in the face of Imperial authority and contemplative action so that aggressiveness is not wasted. Which is why his recent actions have somewhat surprised me.
What is that?
When confronted by an Imperial patrol, Luthen managed to severely damage a Cantwell-class cruiser and destroy the accompanying starfighters sent to board his ship. When cornered, Luthen has never shied away from a rapid, improvised response, but in this instance, I believe, he might have gone too far. Now, the Templin Institute has previously discussed the concept of the Escalation ladder.
Yo, what's up? What do you need?
What? No, get out of here.
You just called me. You literally just called me.
Escalation ladder. Escalation.
Yeah, all right, Mark. No need to be a dick about it.
God, the nerve of that guy. It's like everything has to be about him all the time. Alright, so anyways, the escalation ladder is a kind of metaphorical tool meant to provide a framework for understanding the manner in which the scale or intensity of a conflict grows. With each step up the ladder, the conflict enters a new and usually more serious stage. It's an immensely complex subject, but one of the most dangerous elements of the escalation ladder is that sometimes you're forced to climb a rung on the ladder whether you want to or not, and I believe that's what Luthen Rael has just done. Previously, Luthen arranged for the Imperial payroll of the Aldhani garrison to be stolen by rebel agents. This was definitely a step up the ladder, but one where Luthen was entirely in control. He was deciding when and how to climb the ladder. The action on Aldhani also had the added benefit of not being directly linked to the Alliance. It was a remote world, and while the ISB might suspect rebel involvement, it's not impossible that mercenaries or pirates were responsible. There wasn't a ton, but at least a small amount of plausible deniability. Luthen's attack on that Imperial patrol, though, is a different matter, and a much bigger step up the ladder. The monetary cost to the Empire might be far smaller than Aldhani, but the political and military implications are much larger. This was not some backwater garrison, but a ship of the Imperial Navy active and on full alert. Luthen's success here is remarkable, but it also signals to the ISB the one thing he's been trying to keep secret. The rebellion is much better equipped than the Empire realized. We've seen how the Empire reacted to Aldhani, so it's easy to imagine their response to an open and brazen attack on an Imperial warship. So was this the right move? It definitely comes off as a bit hypocritical that when Luthen was intercepted, he was actually returning from a meeting with Saw Gerrera, a meeting in which he advocated a rebel leader be left to die so as not expose rebel sources. But when in a very similar situation, he acts to preserve his own life. But the right move? I think the answer here is probably. There was certainly no good option, just the least bad one. If he had self-destructed his ship and the Empire had been unable to identify him, the disappearance of a well-known Coruscanti art dealer who just happened to own the same model of ship might have been enough to expose Luthen anyways. From there, it would have been a relatively straightforward process to connect Mon Mothma and implicate her as well. Had he been captured and interrogated, then Saw Gerrera and a host of other rebel contacts would be in danger as well. Ultimately though, if this is a tactical victory for the Rebel Alliance, it's a strategic victory for the Empire. The only way people like Luthen Rael and the networks they operate can survive is if they remain in control of how their war against the Empire escalates. At the cost of just some light damage to an Imperial cruiser and a few dead pilots, the rebellion lost that control, and now the Empire has the initiative. When we look back on the history of the Galactic Civil War, this minor engagement may in fact be one of the most critical moments in the Alliance to restore the Republic.